Hello, College of the Desert students. Wendy Ansley here, kinesiology professor. Welcome to our yoga flow. Today, we have a well-rounded flow with some postures that are just going to provide so many benefits for us. And our theme today is a work in, a yoga flow that's actually a work in, okay, a work in progress. So let me read this to you. This is a quote by Rolf Gates from a book called Meditations from the Mat. And yoga is often viewed as a moving meditation, right? And we know through this moving meditation, our mind, our body, and spirit comes together. It connects. It's the true meaning of the word union. And often when we leave this mat and we go out into this world, we are a better person. Let me read you this quote. It's a beautiful quote. Yoga is not a workout. It is a work in. And this is part of the spiritual practice to make us teachable, to open our hearts and focus our awareness so that we know what we already know and be who we already are. I thought that was pretty cool, right? So it is not a workout, it is a work in, right? Opening our hearts, focusing our awareness so that we know what we already know and be who we already are. The better version of ourselves, right? Throughout this practice, we've got some beautiful postures, some that are emphasizing binds, right? Binds help us go deeper into a pose. Often they open up our shoulders and provide a little torso rotation. Anything that where we clasp the hands and we get the elbow and shoulder sometimes across the knee helps us dive in deeper to a bind. A posture can come full circle. We've got a lot of twists in here as well, promoting spinal mobility and back health. And we have some amazing back bends, right? Strengthening the back side of the body, opening our hearts, right? And regeneration as well, postures promoting regeneration. So let's start in Tadasana at the front edge of our mats. With Tadasana, that's different. Some people like to go feet hip width apart. Some people, I like to do my feet together, maybe even a little space between those heels. Tadasana, awaken our arches and lightly spread the toes. I like to pinky fourth, third, second, first. Good. Tadasana. Active legs, engage my quadriceps, draw that navel in, tailbone under. Broad, the chest is broad and lifted, and I roll my shoulders back. Let's do 2 cleansing breaths. We're going to inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And we'll do 2 partial sun A's to awaken ourselves. I have 2 blocks nearby and I have a strap. For some of you, as you warm up, you might want to utilize the blocks if your hamstrings are a little bit tight, okay? So awaken those arches, Pada Bandha in the feet. Draw that navel in and up, Tadasana. Inhale, draw those arms up, upward salute. Let's lengthen the sides of the body, gaze up. On the exhale, we're gonna gently bend those knees, swan dive down, maybe hands to the blocks of the grounds, and we're gonna heel and toe, a little dynamic forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, either hands to the shins, the thighs, or the ground. Good. Halfway lift, promoting a length in the spine, also known as the flat back. The tailbone is lifting, the crown of head is coming forward. Exhale, fold a little bit deeper into that forward fold. Allow the neck to be long and feel that release in the entire backside body. Gently bend those knees, swan dive up, upward salute. Exhale, hands heart-centered. Tadasana. Inhale, draw those arms up, upward salute, still dynamically awakening here. Let's lift the lower ribs away from the pelvis as we draw length in the spine. Exhale, we're gonna gently bend those knees, swan dive down into a forward fold. Let's do a heel and toe, good. Sometimes when people widen the feet and just bend those knees, it helps them warm up. Utilizing the block is also good. Halfway lift, either hands to the shins, the thighs, or the ground. Create length in the spine. The back is flat. The gaze is lightly forward, lightly down. Good. Drawing length in the spine. Exhale, fold forward. Gently bend those knees, swan dive up, upward salute. Exhale, hands heart-centered. Tadasana. Let's do one more. Inhale, draw that energy up, upward salute. New day, gaze up, length in the sides of the body. Let's draw that tailbone under just slightly. Exhale, gently bend those knees, swan dive down, another little heel and toe. This is a little dynamic exploration before we find stillness. Inhale, halfway lift, either hands, the shins, thighs, or the ground. The back is flat. Draw that torso and spine forward. Lengthen the spine. Feel those inner thighs spiraling back. Exhale, fold just a bit deeper into this forward fold. Feel the release of those hamstrings. Let's allow that neck to be long. Find the breath as we inhale, exhale through the nose, reaping the benefits of Uttanasana. Gently bend those knees, swan dive up. Exhale, hands heart-centered. Beautiful, Tadasana. Good. We're going to continue. I'm just going to adjust my blocks a bit. Here we are in Tadasana. We're going to come into a little lateral flexion of the spine here. We're going to step that right foot over. Take the left hand, the left arm is bent a little bit. Clasp that right wrist. Let's exaggerate the opening of the right side body. Let's draw that left shoulder forward just a bit. Continue to find the breath. Inhale, exhale through the nose. And gently come back center. Good. We're going to really warm that body up across all the planes of motion here. Step that left foot over. Take the right hand and clasp that left wrist. Exaggerate that left hip to the side, opening that left side body. Draw that right shoulder forward just a bit. Find the breath. Really open that left side body. Gently come back center. Tadasana. Let's do a cleansing breath together. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Let's continue this well-rounded flow. Tadasana. Inhale, draw those arms up. Upward salute. Lengthen the sides of the body. Energy out the fingertips. Exhale, we're going to forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Either hands to the ground, shins or the thighs. Draw length in the spine. With the exhale, we're going to frame the feet. Step that right leg back. Here we are in our forward plank. Notice the shoulders stacked over the wrists, the heels over the balls of the feet. Legs are engaged. Draw that navel in. Let's lightly dome that upper back, and the head is in line with the spine. The gaze is lightly forward, lightly down. Core stability, core strength. We'll stay here several breaths. Beautiful. Exploring spinal mobility, lower to the knees. Ashtanga Pranam, knees, chest, and chin. We're going to keep the elbows close to the side, bend those elbows. Lead with the chest. Good. Some of you may be able to do knees, chest, and chin all at the ground at the same time. Be careful. Listen to your body. Good. Tailbone is lifted. Shoulder blades rooted against that upper back. Spinal mobility here. Easy cobra. Send those legs back. Feet hip width apart. Hands by that lower center ribs. Roll those shoulders back. Press to the tops of the feet and the palms. Lightly strengthening and awakening the lower back here. Good. Preparing for our practice. The exhale, we're leading to all fours here. Tucking those toes, maybe walking the hands forward just a bit, a few inches here for down dog. On the exhale, we're going to send those hips back. Good. Press through those palms, spread those fingers. This is where we're trying to kind of firm those thighs, press them back and up. The hands, shoulder width apart, the feet hip width apart. Breathe into any stiffness and any pain. Find the breath, breathe deep. With the inhale, gaze between the hands and kind of roll up, releve up on the balls of the feet. And let's lead with the foot that we don't want to lead to. As we walk the feet towards those hands, the dance continues with the halfway lift. Either hands, shins, thighs, or the ground. Drawing length in the spine. Exhale, fold forward, fold a little bit deep, sternum and chest closer towards the shins. Hips stacked over the knees and the ankles. Gently bend those knees. Inhale, Swanova. Exhale, hands heart-centered. Cleansing breath together in Tadasana. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Awaken those arches, spread those toes, active legs. Inhale, draw those arms up. Upward salute. Lengthening the sides of the body. Exhale, gently bend those knees. Swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift, however we want to modify. Hands, the shins, thighs to the ground. Exhale, framing the feet. We're going to step the left leg back this time for the Phalakasana, that core strength. Again, shoulders stacked over the wrist. Heels over the balls of the feet here. Engage those quadriceps. Dome that upper back, draw that navel in, and lightly tailbone under. The hips are just slightly lifted. That's okay. Adding some core awakening here, drills. On the exhale, draw the left knee towards the chest and the nose. Gently lower the shin to the ground, find the breath. Exhale, round the upper back, knee to the chest and the nose. Gently lower the shin to the ground, find the breath. Exhale, draw the left knee to the chest and the nose, shin to the ground. One more, good. Lower the shin to the ground, step back into Phalakasana. This is such a good core agility drill, helps in our transitions. Draw the right knee to the chest and the nose, round the back, lower the shin to the ground. Right knee to the chest and the nose, lower the shin to the ground. Right knee, chest to the nose, lower the shin. Exhale, right knee to the chest and the nose. Gently lower the shin, find the breath. Step back, inhale, Phalakasana, find that plank. Stay here several more breaths. Gently lower to the knees. Here we're going to explore knees, bend those elbows, knees, chest, and chin, all on the ground. If you need to modify and maybe come into easy cobra earlier, you can. I like to explore another level of this pose. Meet yourself where you are. I like to pick up my feet, interlace my fingers by the base of the spine, put a little bit more weight onto the chest, a little more onto the chin, and explore Ashtanga Pranam with a shoulder opener. Transition on the exhale. Hands by the lower center ribs. Send those legs back. Easy cobra. Press to the tops of the feet. Roll those shoulders back. Awaken the lower back. Lightly opening the chest. With the exhale, come to all fours. Tuck those toes. Walk those hands forward just a bit. Send those hips back into downward facing dog. Middle finger is kind of in line with the shoulders. The second and third finger make like a peace sign. Wrap those triceps behind. Draw length in the spine and continue to firm those thighs. Press them back and up. Find the breath in beautiful Adho Mukha Svanasana, the downward facing dog. Breathe into any stiffness and any pain. Staying in down dog, but the feet come together for our transition. Inhale, we're going to draw that left leg up to about hip level. Left leg, toes are pointed down. The leg is engaged. On the exhale for low lunge, draw the left knee, the chest, and the nose, kind of like that core drill. Place the left foot next to the left hand, right knee towards the ground, hands to those hips. Let's do 1 to 2 dynamics. Big inhale. Now Anjaneyasana. Press to the top of the back foot, root through the four corners of the front foot. Scissor those hips. With the exhale, feel that release of the back hip. Let's add a little twist. Left hand at the base of the spine or outside of the left thigh. Kind of roll that left shoulder back. Little bit of a back bend, little bit of a twist. Find our stillness. Find our breath. Hands to those hips, frame the foot. Back leg straight and engaged. Runner's pose, tuck those back toes. Press in the palms on the exhale. Find your way into downward facing dog. Let's do a cleansing breath in down dog. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Feet come together in down dog for this transition here. Let's try to lower those heels a little closer towards the ground. Breathe into any stiffness, any pain. Inhale, draw that right leg up to about hip height, toes pointed down. On the exhale, draw the right knee to the chest and the nose. Place the right foot next to the right hand. Lower the left knee to the ground. 1 to 2 dynamics. Good. Beautiful Anjaneyasana. Now inhale, we're going to draw those arms up. Draw length in the spine. With the exhale, feel that release of the back hip and kind of the scissoring of the hips. Add a little twist. Let's take the right hand by the base of the spine or outside the left thigh. Kind of roll that right shoulder back. Good. Find the breath. Inhale, exhale through the nose. Gently release. Hands to the hips. Tuck the back toes, frame the feet. Back leg straight and engaged. Press into the palms. Find your way back to down dog in this transition. Push that floor away. Root a little bit more with the index fingers. Let's try to get the heels in line with the pinky toes, and let's take the gaze here towards the feet or the shins as we just reap the many benefits of downward facing dog. Continue to kind of engage those quadriceps, and let's feel those inner thighs spiraling back. Transition to Phalakasana, plank. Draw the shoulders over the wrists. We can do a partial chaturanga where you may lower to the knees here. Or bend those elbows, draw that sternum and chest forward. Try to keep the shoulders in line with those elbows, legs and engaged, chest engaged, shoulders engaged. The gaze is lightly forward and down. Upward facing dog. Press to the tops of the feet. Shimmy that pelvis forward. Chest comes past the biceps. Roll the shoulders back. Gaze up, look back, look up. Notice the knees and thighs off of the ground. Exhale, come over the tops of the feet. So good for the feet to do that. Downward facing dog. Cleansing breath here. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Let's just find our breath here. Press to those palms. Root a little bit more at the index fingers. Wrap those triceps behind. Breathe into any stiffness, any pain. And the inhale, gaze between the hands. Gently bend those legs, and let's practice if we can, either walking forward or on the exhale, floating forward. Gently bend those knees, spring up. Inhale, halfway lift, drawing length, sternum and chest forward. Drawing length in the torso. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Continue to stack those hips over the knees and ankles. Come a little bit more to the midfoot. Feel a release from the arches, the calves, the hamstrings, the entire back. Gently bend those knees. Swan dive up. Hi, hero. Exhale, hands heart-centered. As the hands are heart-centered, let's just take a moment and set our intention for our practice. As our theme was yoga being a work in, right? We are a work in progress, and this moving meditation on the mat is truly a gift of the body, the mind, the spirit coming together. Let's take a moment and set our own intention for our practice today, soaking in the gifts of yoga, the gratitude for our bodies and what it can do, and the opportunity to open our hearts and open our minds. Gently lower the head to the fingertips. Take a moment and set your own personal and meaningful intention for your practice. Perhaps there's somebody that could use your energy, your kind thoughts, your efforts today. And gently look up. Here we are in Tadasana. Let's do a little wrist therapy as we extend that right arm in line with the shoulder, a little dorsiflexion of the hands here. We're going to take those middle fingers, I kind of come up by the middle knuckle here, and draw those fingers kind of towards me as we come into a little wrist mobility, promoting mobility, but also stability of the wrists and kind of opening up the biceps here. We'll stay here several breaths. Think of the planks that we do, the chaturangas that we do, and the strong wrists that we need. Extend that left arm in line with the shoulder, dorsiflexion of the hands. Draw those middle fingers and draw them towards you. Let's find the breath. Gently release. Let's make a fist. Extend both arms in front here in line with the shoulders. Let's do some wrist circles where we turn the wrists outward. Promoting mobility here. Let's turn the wrists inward now. Integral for our chaturangas, right? All these arm balances that we do. Let's take the feet now, maybe about hip width apart, maybe an inch wider. Let's add a little shoulder therapy here. Here we are in Tadasana. Awaken those arches. Spread those toes. Draw that navel and tailbone under. Let's interlace those fingers by the base of the spine. I want you to draw the shoulder blades towards one another and feel the collarbones broadening and the chest expanding. The gaze is soft and in front. Find our balance. Inhale, draw length. Exhale, we're folding forward, opening those hamstrings, but adding this clasp. It's a kind of a form of a bind here. Good. Imagine the hands coming a little closer to the ground, but continue to feel the release of the backside body and yet the shoulders opening. On the transition, root with both feet. Inhale, draw the navel towards the spine, back flat. Inhale, root and rise. Gently release. Let's do a cleansing breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Good. Gomukhasana arms. I'm going to use the strap as a prop. If some of you guys want to use a strap, you don't need a strap, but for some of you, you might need one. This is a form of shoulder therapy. I'm going to put it has these D-rings, so I'm putting my left thumb through that. And we're going to inhale, we're going to draw that left arm up. We're externally rotating that arm. We're drawing the fingertips down the spine. We're drawing that navel in. It's almost like we're wearing high-waisted pants. Try not to flare that rib cage, tailbone under. Good. We're going to take the right arm, draw the thumb towards us, internally rotate, and either clasp the strap or kind of shimmy the fingers between the shoulder blades, clasp the fingers. Some of you guys do this very easy. Continue to kind of wear those high-waisted pants. Press the back of the head against the arm, and let's observe our breath, find our breath as we open those shoulders. Open the chest, open the heart. Shoulder mobility, shoulder therapy. Gently release. A lot of people that practice yoga are known for having kind of an open chest, an open heart, kind of that ability to stand tall and proud. And comparatively to a lot of people where they roll their shoulders forward, a little kyphotic in the back. So just another example of the beauty of Gomukhasana, this shoulder opener, the benefits of this. So now we've got our right arm maybe holding the strap. Inhale, draw those arms up. With the exhale, guiding the right elbow and trying to get the fingertips down the spine, still drawing the navel in, tailbone under. The back of the head presses against the upper arm, and that actually helps lengthen the cervical vertebrae. The opposite, left arm does the exact opposite. Draw the thumb towards us, clasp the strap, or come up higher, interlace those fingers, continue to press the back of the head against the upper arm, draw that navel in, tailbone under. With the inhale, feel that chest expanding. With the exhale, feel the shoulders opening. Gently release. We're going to take that strap and I'm going to place it towards my right in case we want to use this for our Uttanasana with the bind. So the feet are about hip width apart, maybe a little wider than this. Inhale, we're going to draw those arms up, draw length. Exhale, we're going to gently bend those knees, swan dive down. We're going to place the left hand either center or on the block, and we'll take the right arm up, and if we want to utilize a strap, you can. So we have a little bit of a twist. Now the pose is going to come full circle. Either place the hand by the sacrum or kind of near the left hip here. Interlace that left arm underneath, either clasp the strap or the fingers here. So you feel the left elbow and shoulder come across the knee. Let's soften the shoulders. And let's draw the heart towards the sky. Find the breath. Breathe deep. The everything pose. Gently release. Let's place the strap to the left. Gently bend those knees. Swan dive up. Upward salute. Exhale, hands heart-centered as we believe in ourselves and we believe in the yoga postures. Just give ourselves credit here for being here, learning, growing, meeting ourselves where we are, Tadasana. Inhale, draw those arms up, upward salute. Exhale, gently bend those knees, swan dive down to a forward fold. We're going to gently bend that right leg, place that right hand center or on the block. If we want to utilize the strap, we can here. Draw that left arm up. Either place the hand by the sacrum to allow the strap to kind of dangle here. Interweave the right elbow and shoulder across that right knee. This is where we soften the shoulders, clasp those fingers. Let's roll that left shoulder back, gaze over the left shoulder here. Draw the heart towards the sky. The pose comes full circle. Find the breath. With the exhale, let's deepen this bind. Gently release. Let's place the strap down, come into a forward fold. Awaken the arches of the feet, gently bend those knees. Inhale, swan dive up. Upward salute. Hands heart-centered. Come to the center of the mat. Really nice job, you guys. So proud of you guys. Okay, we're going to continue. We're going to mirror each other here on this one. We're going to mirror each other. Here we are in Tadasana. Awaken those arches, spread those toes. Let's take those hands up by the chest here. We're going to add a little hop to a 5-point star. We're going to rotate those big toes in slightly. Imagine somebody pulling on the right arm, lightly pulling on the left arm. Draw that navel in. Hands by the lower back, draw those elbows towards one another. Broaden the collarbones, draw that navel in. Inhale, draw length, gaze up. Exhale, we're folding forward. We'll start with the hands under the shoulders or maybe to the blocks if we're utilizing the blocks. This is known as a concave back. Continue to press through the big toe mound, outer edge of the feet, draw that navel in. I like to feel my iliums kind of moving away from my sacrum, just creating a little bit of space in the sacroiliac joint there. Good, yoga's healing. To deepen this pose, for those of you really flexible, sometimes you draw the feet like an inch or two closer. To deepen this pose, you take the thumb and index finger and you clasp the big toes and imagine drawing or practice drawing the head between the legs. Come more to the midfoot. Feel the release of the hamstrings, the sitting bones towards the sky. Come out of this pose, hands back under the shoulders, concave back. We're going to transition together. Let's do this together. So you're going to turn your left foot as we mirror each other, your left foot here. Lower the right knee to the ground. Big inhale, Anjaneyasana. Arms are straight. Draw length in the sides of the body, but release the back right hip. Find the breath. Hands back to the hips. We're going to lower the hands on the inside. Windshield wiper this right leg. So all of a sudden, guys, we're in a warrior two prep. We're going to explore a bind here. We're going to open up the shoulders, come into a little torso rotation, and deepen this pose. Try to get the left knee towards that pinky toe, so it's like a warrior two prep. We're going to focus on shoulder and torso rotation. Left elbow and shoulder come inside the left knee. We're going to draw that right arm up, either 6 o'clock arms, or if you want to use a block inside, you can, or draw that arm over the head, drawing the top ribs back, bottom ribs forward and under. Opening that right side body. Phase 2 is maybe just explore a half bind. Right hand kind of by the sacrum or catching this left hip. Eventually, we can even practice with a strap, taking the left hand, clasping the right arm. So we've got my left elbow and shoulder across the left knee, opening the shoulders. Let's roll that kind of right shoulder back, gaze up, bottom ribs forward and under, top ribs back, torso rotation. Take some time to get this. Gently release. Here we are, warrior two prep. Cartwheel those hands, windshield wiper the back leg, tuck those toes, runner's pose. Let's firm that left hip, back leg straight and engaged. Mindfully, we're going to transition, walk the hands back to this Prasarita wide-legged forward fold stance. Walk those hands to your right as I mirror you here. Lower your left knee towards the ground, Anjaneyasana, knee stacked over the ankle here. On the exhale, draw those arms up. Feel that release of the back hip, but the lengthening of the spine. The breath helps us find the stillness, find the pose. Hands to the hips on the transition. Lower those hands. Windshield wiper the back left foot. Here we have the right knee. Try to have it towards that pinky toe and feel that right hip opening. Arms extended, making like a T here. Exhale, draw the right elbow and shoulder inside of the right knee. Either 6 o'clock arms, or eventually take that top arm, draw the bicep towards the ear here. Draw that pinky in. Draw the bottom ribs forward and under, the top ribs back. Feel the opening of the left side body. Take that left hand either by the sacrum or kind of catch that right hip. Thread that right arm underneath. Have a little bit of room between the torso and the thigh. Roll those shoulders back. Use the right elbow and shoulder to deepen the bind, to open the shoulders. Draw the heart towards the sky. Yoga is a work in. A better understanding of who we actually are. Gently release. Our little warrior two prep. Cartwheel those hands, windshield wipe the back left leg, tuck those toes. Firm the outer right hip in runner's pose, back leg straight and engaged. Adjust those hands, Prasarita. Good. One last deep stretch. Let's take that yogi grip to the thumb and index finger and imagine pulling the head through those legs. Sitting bones towards the sky. Stay here several breaths. Gently release hands under the shoulders. Draw that navel in, root with both feet. Hands to those hips. Inhale, back flat. Root and rise. Heel, toe it in. Awesome job, you guys. We're going to come to the back edge of our mat. Might scoot these blocks back, however you want to utilize these blocks, guys, to help you, or the strap. On this next bind, I always share this with my students. It took me 6 months to get. I actually didn't practice with a strap. I just slowly practiced it, kind of like phase 1, phase 2s. And I never thought I was going to be able to do it. But with that continued practice, perseverance, I was able to do it. And I just want to share you there's so many benefits of this revolve bind in terms of opening the shoulder and finding the pose. To do that, sometimes we explore deeper. With the alignment, we kind of come in, find the midline of this, and adjust ourselves, right? Feet are about hip width apart, back edge of the mat. Let's awaken the arches. What does it feel to root through the 4 corners of that foot? I kind of like to press through my big toe mound, my pinky toe mound, the inner, the outer heel. Feel those inner arches awaken. Inhale, draw those arms up. Upward salute, draw length. Lengthen the spine, shoulders away from those ears, energy out the fingertips. Exhale, we're gonna gently bend those knees, swan dive down. We're gonna walk the hands forward. Here we are in our downward facing dog. Push that floor away, shoulders are engaged, drawing length in the spine, good. It's like I have sometimes strings under the kneecaps, lifting the kneecaps, engaging the quadriceps to release the hamstrings. Feet come together in down dog, heels closer to the ground for this low lunge transition. Inhale, I'm going to draw that left leg up to about hip level, toes pointed down. On the exhale, draw the left knee to the chest and the nose. Place the left foot next to the left hand. Lower the right knee to the ground. Beautiful. Now low lunge. We're nice and awaken. Draw length. Hands to those hips. Frame the foot. We're going to draw the back knee now comes under the hip and we tuck the back toe. Good. This is where we kind of adjust ourselves. Find our midline. Draw that navel in. Left hand on the hip. Draw that right arm up. Inhale, draw length. Exhale, try to get the elbow and shoulder across that left knee. Almost draw that left knee towards our midline again. Prayer twist. Hands by the heart. We are revolving the torso here. Trying to get the elbow and shoulder across the knee, the bottom elbow, and the left arm up. Here's phase 1. Phase 2 is the left hand catches the right hip, and this is where I was for 6 months. It was so challenging for me, and I kept working on it. Eventually, the right arm comes underneath. Interlace the fingers, phase 3. Roll that left shoulder back. Feel that release, the twist, and the opening of the mid-thoracic. Find the breath. Come back to prayer twist. We're going to add, come into a revolved crescent moon here. The back leg is straight and engaged. Come to that pinky toe side of the back foot, phase 1. Once we can get the elbow and shoulder across, phase 2, draw the arm over the head, meet yourself where you are. You can keep the knee down as a modification. Continue to come to the pinky toe side of the back foot. Grow the pose, the gaze, maybe towards the fingertips. Unless the neck bothers you, you can gaze down. How do we transition to high crescent lunge? Left hand on the hip. Draw those arms up, back leg straight and engaged, front knee stacked over the ankle. Let's keep the hands about shoulder width apart. High lunge, Ashtachandrasana. Find the breath. Transition, hands to the hips, frame the foot. Step back into Phalakasana. With the exhale, come on the balls of the feet. Bend those elbows, sternum and chest forward. Shoulders in line with the elbows. Inhale, press through the tops of the feet. Shimmy the pelvis forward. Exhale, come into the down dog. Good. Push that floor away. Draw length in the spine. Good. Heels in line with the pinky toes. Feel those inner thighs spiral back. Staying in down dog, but feet come together. Heels closer to the ground. Inhale, draw that right leg up to about hip height, toes pointed down, right leg straight and engaged. Mindfully draw the right knee to the chest and the nose. Place the right foot next to the right hand. Lower the left knee to the ground, hands to those hips. Sink lower. Inhale, draw those arms up for low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Exploring a revolved bind. Hands to those hips. Frame the foot. We draw that back knee under the hip and we tuck the back toes. Kind of find that midline here. Right hand on the hip. Draw that navel in. Draw length. We always have to find length before we twist. Inhale, draw those arms up. Elbow and shoulder come across that right knee. I draw that right knee to my midline a little bit more. Hands prayer centered. Good. Heart centered. Phase 1. Phase 2, elbow and shoulder come across the knee. Draw those arms up. Phase 3, right hand catches the left hip. And eventually, the arm threads underneath. Good. Elbow and shoulder across the right knee. And we grow the spine. Soften the right shoulder. The many benefits of adding a revolved bind. Come back to prayer twist. We're going to add that revolved crescent moon. Phase 1, keep the knee down. Again, phase 2 here, back leg straight and engaged. Come to that pinky toe side. Good. So you feel that bottom hip rotating inward. Come to the pinky toe side. Eventually, once we can get the elbow and shoulder across the knee, phase 3, we draw the arm over the head. Continue bottom ribs forward and under, top ribs back leg straight and engaged. Revolve and grow. Draw the bicep in, rotate the pinky in towards you. Right hand on the hip. Inhale and rise. High crescent, let's sink lower. Front leg parallel to the ground. Knee stacked directly over the ankle. Back leg straight and engaged. Draw that navel in and up. Arms shoulder width apart. Firm the outer right hip. Hands to the hips. Frame the foot. Step back into Phalakasana. Let's add that vinyasa. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Broaden the collarbones, roll the shoulders back, gaze up. Knees and thighs off the mat. Exhale, come into downward facing dog. Push that floor away, draw length in the spine. Connect with the exhale, heels a little closer towards the ground. Gently lower the knees. I think we deserve a wide-legged child's pose. Big toes touching, widen the knees. Let's make room for this child's pose. Walk those arms forward, hands about shoulder width apart. Good. I like to come forward a few inches, rest my chest and forehead, and eventually send those hips back. Close my eyes and connect with the breath. And I like to kind of visualize the space between the vertebrae of my spine kind of lengthening, increasing. Gently come out of this pose. We're going to come to a seated position. And we're going to explore a little seated pigeon here. So we're going to take those hands behind and kind of fingers pointing back and kind of roll the shoulders back. And maybe they're about, 6 inches, 8 inches, 12 inches behind us here. Roll those shoulders back. The feet are about hip width apart, and they're a little bit of a distance away here, maybe 6 to 12 inches away as well. Seated pigeon, figure 4. Let's take the left foot, awaken the arch, and press it directly on the right knee. So where we close those eyes here if we want, and we kind of feel the left knee we want to draw it forward a bit, but we want to keep that left foot arch engaged and kind of protect around that left kneecap. This is where we continue to kind of puff up the chest here. It's okay to close those eyes and explore the seated pigeon, sometimes known as a figure 4, and feel the release of the outer left hip. Most of us are going to stay here, honor where we are. Another variation is Agni Stambhasana. So this is where the left ankle stays above the right knee here. Now the left knee, and we don't want to do this if we're in pain. This is just phase 2. Directly over the right ankle. I'm kind of rooting through the sitting bones, drawing length here. Sometimes I even place my hands here to help kind of decrease this gap. Some people will put a blanket, a small block here. I continue to awaken the arches really of both feet here. It forms like a little triangle. And when I was thinking about this triangle yesterday, I was thinking body, mind, spirit. Breathe into any stiffness, whether we're in that figure 4, the knee coming forward, the outer hip opening. Gently come out of this pose. We're going to meet ourselves, both of us where we are, right? The feet are about hip width apart, hands behind, fingertips behind, kind of puff up the chest and roll the shoulders back. Figure 4, yoga is healing. Awaken the right arch and place it on the left knee. Ankle to the knee. Puff up the chest, roll those shoulders back. Awaken the arch and imagine that right hip coming forward. Feel the outer right hip opening. Phase 2, right? Some of us may explore this double pigeon, Agni Stambhasana. Awaken the arch, the right arch over the knee, right knee over the left ankle, but awaken the arches of both feet. This is challenging, right? Root through the sitting bones, draw length. I like to place my hands right on the ankle and the knee. Draw length in my spine, but feel those hips opening. This well-rounded flow. The hips, again, are sometimes viewed as the steering wheel of the body. And the figure 4 and Agni Stambhasana help us with alignment and form. Gently come out of this pose. And we're going to come lying on our backs. Let's do a constructive rest pose, it's called. So with that, our feet are about mat width apart. Let's just relax. The knees are touching, and kind of the legs are internally rotated a little bit, but the spine is long, the head is grounded, and we're just resting several breaths here. Constructive rest. Maybe reflecting back on your intention of your practice today. The gifts of the postures, the ability to work within ourselves, working from the inside out. Building strength in the posterior chain here. So now the feet are about hip width apart and we draw them closer to the buttocks. The feet are pointed straight ahead, but I also like to rotate the big toes in slightly. I want to keep the knees in line with the hips in the glute bridge. Setu Bandha Sarvangasana, the bridge to health, back strength, and just a very powerful pose. So it's like we're touching the heels here. Feet hip width apart, good. With the inhale, we're pressing through the four corners of the feet, lifting the hips. This is phase one. The breath, we connect here. With the inhale, we feel the chest expanding. I like to kind of draw my shoulder blades towards one another, shrug those shoulders, phase one. Hands are on the hips, phase two. Interlace those fingers. Come up high on the shoulders, shoulder blades towards one another. It's like we're drawing the sternum and chest close to the chin, but we're also lifting those hips, kind of drawing the sacrum towards the knees. Also feel the inner thighs spiraling down. We'll stay here several breaths. Continue to lift those hips, inner thighs spiraling back, broaden the collarbones. The chest is broad and lifted. To come out of this pose, I like to draw my arms over the head, releve up, and lower one vertebrae at a time slowly. That was our glute bridge. And many of you are good. I would like you to repeat that maybe 2 more times as we kind of do an independent back bend exploration. Some of you may be drawn to Urdhva Dhanurasana. It's the same setup. Feet hip width apart. Rotate the big toes in slightly. We want to keep the knees in line with the hips. With this pose, it's really about hip extension and expanding across the upper back and opening the chest. Now the hands come towards the shoulders. The elbows are pointed up. This takes strength. It takes open shoulders. A modification is to kind of widen the hands and turn the fingers out, okay? But the hands by the shoulders, elbows pointed up. Root with the four corners of the feet. With the inhale, we're going to lift those hips here, guys. Good. Expanding across the upper back. How do we stack the shoulders over those wrists here and feel that opening of the chest and the heart? The gaze is down. Good. Strong arms, stable shoulders, open hips, but the body is the everything pose. Spinal health. Open shoulders, open hips. Breathe deep. The breath helps us find the balance as we open our chest, open our heart. Gently coming out of the pose, I gently bend those arms and the legs mindfully and come out, okay? Now we've got another practice. We either can do that glute bridge again, lift those hips, build strength, Urdhva Dhanurasana, feet about hip width apart, rotate the big toes in slightly. Want to keep those knees in line with the hips. Hands by the shoulders, elbows up. And we can modify by widening the hands, turning the fingers out. Inhale, press up, and eventually we build upon strong arms and legs. Good. Shoulders stacked over the wrist. Hips are lifted, sacrum towards the knees. When we get more confident in this pose, we can walk the hands closer towards the feet. Continue to open the chest, open the heart, and find the gaze towards the hands. Gently bend those arms and the legs, come out of the pose. Good. Let's do that constructive rest here. Feet hip width apart, mat width apart, knees coming together. Just relax those arms here. Great job. Drawing the knees to the chest here in Apanasana. So we're going to draw both knees to the chest and clasp up high along the shins and let the knees kind of weigh us down here a little bit. Let's connect with the breath. On the inhale, we're drawing the knees towards the chest. On the exhale, we're drawing the tailbone towards the ground. This is helping us neutralize the spine after those back bends. Adding a double spinal twist here. Guiding both knees to the right, and we want to stack the knees, hips, and feet right on top of one another. They're stacked right on top of one another. Extend that left arm from the shoulder, trying to get the left shoulder towards the ground. I like to place my right hand on the left knee, the left hand towards the ground, and feel the release in the upper and the middle back. This is phase one. Another variation is sometimes I straighten my legs and I clasp the outer edge of the left foot to feel a release in my side body. So we always have variations. Gently come back center. Apanasana, knees towards the chest. Guide both knees to the left here. Stack the feet, the knees, and the hips, and extend that right arm from the shoulder, right shoulder towards the ground. Variation is sometimes straighten the legs. A few of you might be able to take the left hand, clasp the outer edge of the right foot. We don't force it, right? The emphasis is more on the spinal twist. Right shoulder towards the ground, gaze over the right shoulder. Regeneration. Increasing the suppleness of the spine with these twists. Come back center, draw the knees towards the chest. This is known as a supine forward fold as we're drawing length in the spine. Tailbone towards the ground. One last pose, happy baby. Ananda Balasana, widen the knees. We either can awaken the arch, we either can clasp the belly of the hamstrings, that's phase one. Phase two, intertwine, interweave those arms, clasp the outer edges of the feet. Draw the tailbone towards the ground. We'll stay here several breaths. Hips opening, spine lengthening. Breathe deep. Often a student's favorite pose is happy baby. Tailbone towards the ground, knee coming towards the shoulders. Spine is long. Reach the arms over the head, the legs straight out. One last long, long stretch as we nestle into our Shavasana, where we relax the feet, we relax the arms. I like to kind of puff up the chest and draw my shoulder blades kind of towards one another just slightly. Relax the feet, relax the arms. The breath is just natural in our Shavasana. You've earned this rest, and I want you to take a few minutes to nourish your body, your mind, and your spirit as you prepare to go into this world and be the light.